Hi, my name is Frank, and you're watching Frank Talks. In my blog, I've been talking about what it means to be a conservative. In my understanding, conservatism is about conserving liberalism, and liberalism being the philosophy of our founding fathers here in America. That's why I call it conservative liberalism. So in my blog, I'm doing a series on 6 essentials of conservative liberalism. And in this video, I just wanted to give it a brief overview of them and try and do them as fast as possible. So, as I said, there's 6 of them. The first is individualism. Individualism is the idea that we're all created equal. We're all equal in essence, we're all equal in rights, and we're all equal before the law. Only you know what's best for yourself, and you should be given as much freedom to choose what you'll do with your resources. The second thing is negative rights. Okay, so negative rights, it boils down to your right to be left alone. Our founders and thinkers like John Locke, they saw our rights as a package deal. There are 3 of them, and they come in a package deal: your right to life, your right to liberty, and your right to property. They can't be separated. Your right to life, that's your right to not be murdered. Okay, your right to liberty is the right to not be enslaved or forced to do something against your will. And your right to property would be the right to not have your property stolen or damaged. And that includes your own body. Your body is your property. So negative is the idea of, it's not that it's bad, we're talking about inaction. The other theory is positive rights, the idea that your rights are positive things that we ought to give you, like free health care, free college. We ought to give you those things. Instead, your rights are things that we ought not to do. So we shouldn't take away your life, we shouldn't take away your liberty, and we shouldn't take away or damage your property. Okay, and if everyone respects everyone else's rights, we have maximum liberty in a society. In order to do that, in order to have maximum liberty and to have everyone respecting everyone else's rights, we need, in order to have that maximum level of personal liberty, you need personal virtue and personal responsibility. If you want to maintain liberty, you have certain obligations. And we ought to be responsible with our liberty. We ought to use our liberty responsibly and not go off haphazardly, using our liberty to hurt other people or to endanger other people. Not only should we be responsible, but we should strive for virtue. Virtue is defined as moral excellence. So it's the idea of going above and beyond morally. The idea of trying to find the best path and the best way to live life. The 4th point is limited government. That's the 4th essential. To protect our rights, we set a government over us as sort of a referee. Our Constitution in America limits the government to maximize our liberty. If you read the Constitution, its purpose is to limit the government, not the people. The 5th point is decentralization. You want to delegate power and you don't micromanage. This is the point of the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment delegates all powers not named in the previous amendments. It delegates them to the states and to the people. You want to delegate to states and local governments so that they can have their own laws and their own ways of doing things. And if you don't like how one state does something, pick it up and move to another state. I would say that there should be less laws the farther you go up the levels of government. The federal level of government, you want to protect the 3 basic rights that I was talking about. But other than that, you want to give them liberty to move to the different states. So they can, different states can have different different tax rates, things like that. And that creates competition between the states, and it gives them incentive to create a better form of government for their constituents. And finally is the idea of sixth point is the idea of free enterprise. And this stems from two of the negative rights that I talked about: your right to property and your liberty to dispose of that property how you wish. Okay, by spending your money on things that you value, you create wealth. You make the world a better place. And there's an entire video that goes into how that works, how wealth is created, on how value is added to the world. I'll try and link that in the description of these videos. But yeah, those are the 6 essential concepts of conservative liberalism, and I want to continue to talk about those and expand on them. If you have questions, please put them in the comments, and I'll try and respond to them in the comments or in future videos or future blogs. Like Frank Talks on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you guys have, if you guys are interested in what we're doing and you really like what we're doing here at Frank Talks, go over to our Patreon, and you can pledge $1 a month, and you can get access to live casts, and hopefully we'll have more content for patrons coming up soon. All right, thanks. Bye.